look at the RedPajama project, a project to create leading open source models that starts by reproducing Llama training dataset of over 1.2 trillion tokens. But you might ask why Llama? You see, of the chat language models, there's a chat.org.ai tracker that tracks the chat language models, and of this, as you can see over here, most of them are based on the Llama model. Those are pointed to by the red arrow, and in the third column you can see in yellow that these exact models are licensed in a restricted way. So this is a good model, but the license cannot restrict their use so that they cannot be used for commercial activities, only research. So then again, why is it that everybody's trying to use this model even though it's a restricted model? Well, it's a damn good model. Let's see why. This is the paper that announced the Llama model that was released in February of 2023. In the paper we have the following abstract. It says that the model is trained on millions of tokens, and it shows that it's possible to train state-of-the-art models using publicly available data exclusively. And also they say here that Llama 13 billion parameter outperforms GPT-3 175 billion parameter, an order of magnitude larger model, on most benchmarks, and Llama 65 billion parameter model is competitive with most models, even the state-of-the-art like Chinchilla 70 billion parameters, or again an order of magnitude larger Palm 540 billion parameter model. And here we see the data that was used to train this model. Most of it, 67% of the data, is the common crawl, which is just the open internet, and then 15% is C4, which is the data that is used to train the Google T5 models. And then of course there are the others like the GitHub, Wikipedia, books, and such. On the right we have a chart that shows the training loss as we train over those trillion plus tokens. The smaller models, which is to say the 7 billion and 13 billion parameter models, shown in blue and orange, are trained for only 1 trillion tokens. The other two, which is the 33 billion parameter and 65 billion parameter models, the larger models, the green and red line, are trained for 1.4 billion parameters. As we can see here, both models could use more data. The graph does not show saturation or flattening of the training loss even after a trillion and 1.4 trillion tokens. So next, let's see the results of standard benchmarks. Here we compare the Llama model to the state-of-the-art models like the GPT-3, Gopher, Chinchilla, and of course Google's Palm. As you can see here, the Llama model is able to show good performance, and the 65 billion parameter and the 3 billion parameter models actually show the best performance in 6 out of the 8 benchmark measurements. And the state-of-the-art Google Palm is only able to win in 2 of the benchmarks. So what is the announcement? Well, the announcement this time is that Together Computer is releasing the RedPajama data 1 trillion parameter 1 trillion token dataset on Hugging Face, and you can go there and actually look at the data like this. You can preview the data and also download it. And they have also shown the detail of the data in comparison to the Llama. They are not exactly the same, so you can see the common crawl. We have just RedPajama having a little more. C4 is almost the same. For GitHub, it's a little less, and such. And further, the Together Computer have also released the scripts that they have used to clean up the data, download the data, and process the data. So you can use these scripts to reproduce the same results if you have the facility to do so. And finally, the acknowledgements. We have the groups, the institutions that have prepared this data for us. We have Ontocord.ai, we have MILA Québec AI Institute, we have ETH DS3Lab, you have Université de Montréal, you have Stanford Center for Research on Foundational Models, and you have Stanford Hazy Research Group and Lion Group. And Meta AI were the original AI team that created this data and model. So they've been the inspiration, and Luther AI have developed before foundational model GPT Neo X, and that source code has been used in this work. And finally, there's the computer resources that have been used, and these were provided by the Insight program. I think it's a French European program, and also some facilities were used at the Oak Ridge Leadership Computer Facility in the US. And so that's it. And if you have any interest in creating the Llama data, or in future fine-tuning your own models, this is an interesting project to keep your eye on. And I'm very interested, and I'll be looking at it and reporting further to you in future. And thank you for listening and watching till the end. Until next time, bye.